Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Congressman, I always think in terms of the Democrats having a lot of control or a lot of input on domestic policy, the economy, deregulation. I'm not sure whether they've got much input on foreign policy. Could they rein in Mr. Trump's foreign policy in the House?
Yeah, you're right. They don't have a lot of control. It's a frustration I had under President Obama. You know, I do believe there's a lot of leverage to the president, as I believed under President Obama. That's the power that they have. But what they can do is have a lot of hearings. They can make a lot of noise. They can try to cut off funding. For instance, if they don't like Afghanistan anymore, they can do their best to cut off funding for that. So they can actually make the life of the administration pretty hellish on some of this, but there's not a lot of power that they actually have besides being able to go in front of the cameras, do hearings, and maybe try to have a budget fight.
The wall is part of immigration policy, but they could cut off funding for the wall, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could, and this was a disappointment I had in the summer. Frankly, many in our own party, in the Freedom Caucus specifically, didn't end up backing the bill we wanted to pass, which would have allocated the funds for the wall and enforced future Congresses to have to do it, because there were some other things attached that would have been suspended had they withheld funds for the wall. Now we don't have that mechanism in place. So, you know, over the next couple months, it'll be, I'm sure, a fight during lame duck to see if we can get this done. I certainly hope we can. But there's no doubt when they have the House now, there's not a lot we can proactively do, which is going to be a new position for a lot of us that were elected in 2010 and came into the majority to see how this operates now.
So the Democrats running the House won't have that much input in foreign policy. There will be a ton of investigations and hearings and all the rest of it. But what about, not control, but input over domestic policy, specifically tax cuts and deregulation? Could they hold up the economic boom that we've got in progress now?
Yeah, of course they could, because I think part of the reason we have such an economic boom is because we've done a lot of good proactive things in Congress, from deregulation from a congressional perspective to actually attacking the opioid crisis to this tax cut bill. And that, with the actions of the administration, have led to an economy on fire. They can certainly hold up proactive progress. Now, they can't repeal the tax cuts, despite the fact that a lot of them want to raise taxes back on millions and millions of Americans. So they can't do that. By, you know, stopping deregulation, that can have a psychological effect on the economy. As you know as well as I do, the economy is really just reflective of people's mental state and whether they feel confident in the economy or in these interactions among humans. So it'll be interesting to see. Look, there's still a great position we have by having the Senate. Having the presidency is still a fantastic thing, but it's not going to be as fun as it's been the last couple of years. But now the Democrats have to put forward ideas of their own finally, because they're in charge of the House, and they haven't had any ideas that I've seen in the last few years.
Nah, they're going to investigate up the wazoo and not much legislation. But that's just an opinion, Congressman. That's just an opinion. Adam Kinzinger, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Appreciate it. Gotcha.
You bet.
Sure thing.
See ya.